In today's gaming news, World of Warcraft subscriber numbers drop below 10 million, SimCity's second beta takes place next week, Dreamfall Chapters The Longest Journey hits Kickstarter, and a new Call of Duty game is planned for this year. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is Friday, February the 8th, and my name is Force, here with today's gaming news. First up today, World of Warcraft subscriber numbers have dropped below 10 million. During today's financial call, Activision reported that World of Warcraft subscriber numbers are currently at 9.6 million. This is down from the 10 million reported after the launch of Mist of Pandaria, but it is up from Cataclysm's low of 9.1 million. Even with this dip, World of Warcraft is still the largest subscription-based MMO. In other news today, the National Real Estate Association has announced that nearly 400,000 people recently moved out of their mother's basement into housing of their own. Wait a second. Next up in news, SimCity will be holding its second beta event next week. SimCity is the self-titled latest installment in the long-running city-building franchise. The game introduces the notion of social flow, which is the ability for your city to impact surrounding cities run by other players. With groups of up to 16 people, this may make for some very interesting city interaction. The second closed beta will be starting on February the 16th at 9 AM Eastern Time and runs for 24 hours. I'm really intrigued by this whole idea of social flow, the notion that one city in the game can influence surrounding cities, and that gave me an idea. This could have real-world implications. I would like to build a city consisting of entirely gamers. Right next to it, we can fill a city with gun-toting NRA members. I figure we'll just let them duke it out and settle this gun violence debate once and for all. You know, because video games have real-world implications after all. Moving on, Dreamfall Chapters The Longest Journey has began and nearly finished funding its Kickstarter. Dreamfall Chapters is the episodic sequel to Dreamfall The Longest Journey. The title will continue the story from the moment the prior one left off. Gameplay consists of a combination of point-and-click adventure and direct character control. Today, Red Thread Games launched a Kickstarter for the project, which within a few short hours has reached nearly a third of its funding goal. While it's safe to say that this is going to complete funding, after just a few hours, the fact that they've already reached about a third of their goal is absolutely ridiculous. But am I the only one who's a little creeped out by the artwork of the main character? I mean, I like a pretty lady as much as the next guy, but there's something really off-putting about this girl. It's like she's been in my nightmares. Ugh. And last up in news today, surprise, surprise, we will be seeing another Call of Duty game in 2013. Continuing the trend of a new title every year, Activision plans to release another Call of Duty game in 2013. During their fiscal year earnings call, Activision revealed that a new COD game will be coming, though they are unsure of how it will perform due to the unpredictability of new consoles. With Call of Duty games typically launching in the fourth quarter, and the new consoles rumored to be arriving around that time as well, it'll be interesting to see how this affects the sales of the game. I know, absolutely no one is surprised that another Call of Duty game is coming out this year, but I'm intrigued about the concept of the sales being affected by the launch of the next generation of consoles. Now, if you want my opinion, I actually don't think the next generation of consoles is going to take off immediately. What I mean by that is I think there's a lot of gamers out there, the casual type, who are fairly satisfied with their 360s and PlayStation 3s, and early adopters will probably take at least a few months to catch on. So with that said, I don't think the launch of the next generation, which is expected this fall or season time, is going to affect the sale of Call of Duty games, because most people are probably going to be playing it on the older platforms. Now over time, as more and more people get the next generation and the old ones get replaced, well then we may have something to talk about, but at the moment, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now what I'd like to know from you guys today is, are you tired of Call of Duty? We've been getting a new game every year for quite some time now, and I wonder, are you guys just fed up with it? I know lots of people are looking for new IPs, myself included. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed.
Force. Oh, Force. Play my game.
Huh?